Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing a bit of work on our Massey 175. The front end loader on it has some pretty bad cracks in it, and we're going to be patching these up. So there's this big cross member here, and round either side of it, it's pretty much broken off. Now you can see that it's been repaired several times already. And there's some other running cracks in here too that we're going to have to repair while we're doing this. Now it's not uncommon for front end loaders to crack. Normally they crack up here somewhere where this main lifting ram comes on, sort of around the strengthening plate here, but it's not uncommon for them to crack up here. So why has this one cracked here? It moves backwards and forwards like this, and you can see as we wriggle it, those cracks really open up and close up. The other thing is when one side bounces up and down, it cracks. So there's not a lot we can do to stop the twisting in this direction, but we can stop the twisting in this direction. So we're going to put across another brace up there that goes from that side to that side, and then we're going to put some cross bracing from that down to here, and that will stop the twisting. It's got these 45-degree panels in here, and they're just not big enough to do it. This one's got a crack along here as well that's forming. So the first thing we're going to do is clean up the spot for the new brace up there, and clean up. We're going to get the angle grinder and we're going to cut out these cracks so we've got some clean metal to weld onto. Now the welder we are using today to do the repairs on the front end loader is a Lincoln tractor pack welder. This one is from about the 1950s. And spent most of its life on a farm down near Cookeran in Western Australia. And they used this for many years, including to run the 32-volt stands in their shearing sheds. And these welders were really common on farms. They were about the only thing you could use if you didn't have a good supply of mains power. So this runs off the PTO on the Chamberlain. It's got a big pulley there with V-belts in there, down to quite a small pulley on here. And these are fantastic welders. They also came out with a 240-volt AC power point on some of them, or a 32-volt DC power point, which was really common on farms in Western Australia. And they also came out with this welder here and a 3-phase motor on them, for use in the big industrial workshops in the cities. And even up until the 1990s, you couldn't buy a welder that was better than these ones. Okay, so the first bit we're going to weld in place is this brace across here. We're going to put this in first so that it holds everything else together a little bit. I've just clamped some blocks of wood underneath it to hold it in place. And then I'm just going to tack weld each side of it quickly, and then we'll do a proper weld after we've got it all tacked. Now to prepare this for welding, we've got to do a couple of things. We can't just go through and weld it back together the way it is. We've got a very fine crack coming through here. Now, cracks will tend to keep tearing along at the sharp point. So what we're going to do is drill a little round hole here at the end of the crack. The round hole just means there is no sharp point for the crack to keep tearing along. And then we're going to grind it out and weld the whole thing up. But because we can't grind right through here, that's why we put the little hole in. We also need to grind this bit out and clean this up so we've got a nice surface to weld on. So I'm going to start doing that now. So the first thing we want to do Now this crack's actually running in two different directions. It's come round here and round here, but it's also running this way. Now that we've got that new top bar welded in and this bottom bar fixed round the front here, I can take the bucket off. Now I left the bucket on before because there was actually nothing to stop the two forks from just spreading outwards, and I wanted to just keep the bucket on just to help to keep it all in line. I'm not a great welder, but I'm reasonably happy with this one, and this is the new weld down here. You can see I didn't have enough grinding discs to grind down all of the old weld, but that was a really rubbish weld. Down here it's not actually doing anything. They must have used about 2 boxes of welding rods when they did this last time. We got a little bit of rain last night and it's already started rusting. I didn't have a chance to put any primer on it yet because I want to finish cleaning up the rest of the welds. So we've got the 2 bits of cross bracing cut now and clamped in place. Because I'm not a very good welder, we're going to actually lift it up to its till it's level, and that just makes it a bit easier to weld. I'll probably do along the top here first, just get that bit tacked in place, and then I'll lift it up and I'll weld round the rest of it. So we've finished welding the cross brace on, and even with just that on, this is now really solid. There's no movement down in here at all. So we haven't even finished welding it yet. I'm just going to clean these up with a wire brush on the angle grinder now, and a flap disc, and then I'll just put a bit of paint on these, because I'm not going to get back. I think it's going to rain again tonight, and I'm not going to get back to this for a couple of days now to finish the rest of it off. The next thing we're going to do here is actually take this whole front end loader assembly off. It's only 2 pins on each side, one there and one down here on the ram, and then we're going to flip the whole thing over so that we can get in to clean up and weld these bits in under here. I was hoping not to have to take it off, but to do this job properly we really do need to take it off and flip it over. If I had a good quality MIG welder I could probably do it without flipping it, but we're going to work with what we've got. Now that we've got this off, we've got really good access to get in, clean these up, fix up these couple of cracks in here on both sides. We've got cracks going in every direction. So now, yeah, we can get in here, we can clean this up properly. We won't end up, look here Nipper, we won't end up with a weld that looks quite as rubbishy as this one does, because they were trying to weld it upside down. So I'm going to get busy with the angle grinder now and clean these up ready to weld. Okay, so we've cleaned all of this up now. We've drilled holes at the end of all of the cracks in it. We've cleaned out most of the slag out of the old crack. So now we're ready to weld it up. They've burnt a few holes through it last time and filled the welds with slag, so they were pretty ordinary welds. We'll see if we can do a better job this time. So here's the finished product, and it's much stronger than it was before. If I push on the side now, instead of just flexing there, the whole tractor ends up shaking backwards and forwards. I also can't bounce it up and down on one side anymore and get it to twist this way. So anyway, I hope this helps any of you who have got a front end loader with a crack in it. It's not a hard job to repair it. This did take me probably the best part of 2 days to do this, but it's all fairly basic work to do. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope to see you again next time. Bye.